Welcome to BLC Science Speaking Mock Test. As this is the practice speaking mock test, so you need not to show your identification. My name is Jahidul Islam, so I am your practice examiner. So let's get started. Well, in this first part, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. So let's talk about boring things. What kind of things are boring to you?
Some of the things which I'd like to mention would be studying biology, then doing some difficult mathematical equations. Seems a bit boring.
So what do you do while you feel bored?
So whenever I feel bored, I try to distance myself from the crowd and spend some time alone listening to music.
So what is the most boring things you did when you were a kid?
So during my childhood, I used to play different numerical games, which I found a bit difficult and boring.
Some students consider that school is a boring. So do you agree with this statement?
Sir, I personally don't agree with this statement because I enjoyed my school life a lot, and right now I miss those beautiful days of mine. But some of the students who can't cope up with their school life find their school life a bit boring to them.
Now let's move on video games. So do you like playing video games?
Sir, I love to play the modern video games which are available right now, and I spend most of my free time when I'm alone or in a public place. I spend my free time in playing video games.
So what kinds of video games do you like to play?
So most of the time I like to play online multiple action games. Most of the time I play PUBG and COD, which is the full form of Call of Duty, with my friends.
So is it good for young people to play video games all the time?
Sir, I think everything should be done in a limit, and if anything crosses the limit, and no matter how good it is, it always hampers the overall situation.
So do you think people nowadays are spending too much time on playing video games?
Sir, I think this situation have gone out of limit and have become a concerning situation for the recent times. The young generation are getting addicted to playing video games, and I think safe precautions and measures should be taken to stop it.
Now let's talk about computers. So in what condition would you use a computer?
Sir, in most of the cases of my academic life or for entertainment purposes, I use my computer. I mostly rely on it for almost every purpose of my life.
So when was the first time you used computer for?
Sir, I clearly remember when I was in fourth grade, I used to use my dad's computer, and started to playing video games and do some basic commands in my dad's PC.
So what would your life be like without a computer?
Sir, at present, I'm heavily dependent on computer, and I really can't imagine my life without using computer.
In what conditions would it be difficult for you to run a computer?
Sir, most of the cases, whenever I go to a remote place wherever there is a poor connection of internet and frequent load shedding, or whenever I have a busy schedule, especially during my exam, I find it difficult to use my computer.
Okay, now let's talk about weather. So what kind of weather does your hometown have?
Sir, my hometown has a very tropical weather, and most of the time it's very moderate. And but during the summer season, it's very hot. But in winter, it's quite harsh.
So do you like this type of weather?
Sir, as I'm habituated to it, I feel comfortable about it. But during summer season, whenever the temperature rises over 38 degrees Celsius, I feel a bit uh, irritated about it.
So do you prefer warm or cold weather?
Sir, my personal favorite is winter season, so I prefer cold weather because the scenery and the environment during the winter season is very much appealing to me.
So it is commonly believed that people should be able to choose the weather they like. So is it possible in the near future that they could choose their preferable weather?
So already research are being carried out in this field, and many scientists are already being successful in such steps. Recently in UAE, they are controlling the weather by making artificial rains using the technology named cloud seedling. And I think in near future it will develop, and people will have a partial control over the weather.
Thank you. Now I'm going to give you topics and I would like you to talk about 1 to 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say. If you want, you can take notes. This is your paper, pencil, and questions. So describe a piece of technology that you find difficult to use. Okay, now you have 1 to 2 minutes for this topic, so don't worry if I stop you. I will let you know when the time's up. Could you start speaking right now, please?
Sir, a piece of technology which I'd like to talk about today, and I find it a bit difficult to me, it would be the Apple smartwatch. I got it last year as a gift from my uncle. He wanted to me so that I always stay up to date about my notifications and important mails from my phone, and he wanted to me stay physically fit. So that's why he gifted me in my last birthday, and since then I have been using it. And I from the very beginning I find it very difficult to use because its features are very complicated, and as it's a very small device, so I need to personally customize the settings, and I found it difficult whenever I navigated it. And still today, most of the features I'm not aware of it, how to use it properly, but still I'm learning how to use it properly, especially the basic things like receiving notifications, which I receive in my phone, as both the accounts are connected. And especially while running and doing physical exercises, I can easily maintain the footsteps I want to achieve per day. But still, as it has many features, still haven't explored all of them, but I'm trying. But it's a bit complicated to me still today, but I feel great about it because it has already saved my time, and it's much more easy to carry to different places. It's convenient to use, but the features are a bit difficult.
Thank you. Could I have the paper and pencil back,
Yes.
please? Well, you have been talking about Apple smartwatch. Now I'm going to ask you some more questions which are related to these topics. So, what technology products are used by the people nowadays?
Sir, during a recent survey, it has been found that most of the people use smartphones as the main technology, uh, and the importance of it is increasing day by day because it can be told as a mini computer. So it's the most frequent technology used all over the world.
So, why do large companies produce new products frequently?
So I think the companies are trying to innovate more and more so that the new demands which rise to the market can be met, and also to make their sales better, and so that the demands of new technologies are always in the market. They try to launch new phones every year.
So, what latest technology do you use right now?
So many of the things I can talk about, but most recently I've used different technologies which are based on artificial intelligence, and it's quite new to the market, and it's far better than the traditional websites and Google networks which we use currently, and it's much more convenient and easy to do the things.
So, who is the most affected by the complexity of modern technologies?
Sir, I think due to the complexity of modern technologies, many people from the previous generation, they are facing much difficulty while using it as they are not well trained about it. But the new generation is well aware of it, so they are taking up these places, and many people are losing their jobs due to it.
So how do technology makes our life easier?
Sir, I think the technology is making our life easier by solving most of the problems, by saving time, and as it's more convenient, no physical work is needed. So it's helping our life to get better day by day.
Thank you, Junai. That is the end of your speaking test.
Thank you, sir.
Bilingual Learning Center, BLC, Bogura.